So in 2004, I started engineering solutions with one other partner and I guess one other financial backer involved with it. And we did civil engineering, structural engineering. Started off, small business, 2 people, working their butts off, trying to, get ahead in the world. And, did that for, I guess, 5 years until, kind of making the grind and kind of going through it. And, around 2009, the economy started tanking and realized I can't do this alone. I really have to figure out kind of how to get my business squared away and get further ahead. And, I think, we're realizing I went to school as Michigan Tech and University of Wyoming, got my graduate degree, all in engineering, never had a single business class. So I was kind of, behind the 8 ball on that one, like trying to figure out how to run a business, try to figure out, how to read a profit and loss statement, how to project some income, all these items you kind of, I now have learned more about and realize there's even more to learn, but realize that that I needed help and really, thinking about it, you see all the, we just got done with the Super Bowl and when you see that, you see all these coaches on the sideline coaching, you have a, head coach and you have a, defensive coach and a special team coach. You have all these coaches and, realize what, I really need to get some help. So went to a presentation that Bill and Johnny had given and, kind of made me think what, this might be what I really need to do for my business, that I need a little bit of help. And, that was definitely the turning point of my business. I'll show you a little slide here. Let me share my screen. So this is our structural revenue. So now we were a civil engineering and a structural engineering firm. Now we're just solely a structural engineering firm. You can see where we started in 2004 as the economy started tanking down in 2009. And that's when I turned to Bill and I was like, okay, we need to figure out how this is. And you can see the growth that we've gone through. And we did a little over $1.7 million last year. And has definitely grown my business to beyond wherever I thought was possible. So Bill, I'm very thankful that our paths crossed and that I took the investment in myself and in my business to join with ActionCOACH.
My experience with ActionCOACH has really been that the values that ActionCOACH encompasses are the same as my values, and so it's very easy to put into action what I guess basically the core values are the same, and so it's easy to put my head around a plan for myself and for my business that will coincide with what my beliefs and values are. Definitely been able to manage my time better. I have been able to grow my business tremendously and grow it the right way and with the right tools. Absolutely do it. Best decision ever.
I decided to hire Bill because I was at a point in my business where I either needed to grow or needed to find some other avenue to get to where I needed to get. And I floundered for a long time, and I was referred to him, and it was the best move I ever made. Bill is a person you can sit down and talk to, and anything you say to him, he totally understands where you're coming from and understands your frustration. So I didn't feel like, I was lost, I didn't know what I was doing. So when you sit down with Bill, he explains everything to you in ways you can understand, even if you don't have an MBA, on how to get to the position you need to be in as a company. Well, working with Bill, I guess I got more organized or got more focused. I have a tendency to have all these fires I'm putting out all day, and I learned to work on the business instead of in the business in areas I was not focusing on as far as marketing, being organized, having long-range plans. Do it today. I waited too long, and my business is totally turned around, but I almost waited too long as far as growing the business the way it needed to be growing. Get involved, get enrolled early. The earlier the better, to where you'll have I know which direction I'm going in now. Before I was floundering, and Bill will get you in that direction in an easy process. Working with Bill has been one of the most enjoyable things I've ever done because he understands how to relate with people. He understands your frustrations as a business owner. There is no learning curve for him to get you in the position you need to be to grow your business. And he's been very straightforward to deal with, a great guy, and I highly recommend anyone enrolling in his program today.
As a sole proprietor, running my architecture firm for, I guess, 7 or 8, 9, well, it's been about 10 years, I realized that I was in a position where there's a lot of us know a lot of things about business, or at least we think we know a lot of things about business. There's a lot of choices out there that you can make, and as a sole proprietor, not having a partner to sort of bounce those ideas across, I came to the realization that it would be good to have some outside input. And Bill Gilliland reached out to me, I think probably at right about the right time that I'd come to that realization. So we sat down and talked a few times, and some of the things that Bill said really fell right in line with what I felt like I was needing as a business owner, to have a sounding board and bounce some ideas off of and help focus the direction of my business and that I wanted it to go, and be able to really step back and impartially look at the business and where it had been, to help put everything on the right track, help the business grow over the coming years, and it's been a great last 12 months. Helping to get that focus put together and move us forward. I enjoy working with Bill. A couple of reasons. One, I think Bill's sort of a counterpoint to my personality. I'm pretty high energy and can be a little bit all over the place, and that's great. Serves me well for a lot of purposes. Bill brings a business mindset and a background and a steadiness to our discussions and to the ideas that I have and the ideas that he brings to the table, that has really helped me to focus where we're going and formulate a short-term, mid-term, long-range business goals. That background that Bill's got has been valuable at helping me to develop that plan of action. One of the specific things I've gotten out of the coaching is developing those short-term, mid-term, and long-range goals. We all tend to think that we're going to work forever, I think, or time slips by and you don't realize how long it's been and where you're going. And I think it'd be real easy to look up at 65 years old and realize that you haven't gotten everything where you need to go. So our discussions about my business plans, even at my age, and I'm 47 and got a long ways to go, already starting to talk about exit strategies and 5-year goals, 10-year goals, and 20-year goals has been just invaluable at helping me to figure out the things that I need to do on a day-to-day basis to get there, and having him there to hold me accountable for those decisions and those actions on a weekly basis is just something that you can't find elsewhere. And without it, you tend to let those things fall to the wayside, and you look up 24 months later and you're right where you were 24 months ago. So that's been a very valuable asset and the biggest strength I think I could point to in working with Bill. Best thing I could say is get off dead center. I bounced around, as Bill knows. I think we talked for 2 or 3 months before I finally made the commitment and to do it. And within a month, I was like, wow, I wish I'd started 3 months sooner. So, I think it's something that everyone ought to take a serious look at. It's done wonders for us, my staff, my business manager, my wife. Everyone's going, wow, this has been great. This has been one of the components that you've been missing. We were successful. We were doing good. We survived the downturn in the economy, and in my profession, that's something to be proud of. But had I started that process sooner, I think we'd be years ahead of where we are right now. So my best advice is sit down, have lunch with Bill, talk about the things that you might need your business have a little help with, listen to what Bill has to say, and pull the trigger and get it done. When you look at hiring a coach like Bill, obviously one of the things that you're always looking at is the expenditure and what does that bring back in, and it's real hard to quantify. the dollars that brings back in, but I know from looking at my office manager and talking with her and looking at our yearly books that it's been a valuable investment, and it makes the cost of being a part of this process seem insignificant on the back end. So you're hired.